Big news! Intuit is hiring a whopping 1,000 tax pros by November. Welcome everyone to the VirtForce and Intuit Tax Level 1 Bootcamp Kickoff. I'm Kimber Hill, VirtForce founder and your Milspouse bestie, and I couldn't be more excited to have you here. Imagine working from your cozy home office, sipping coffee and helping taxpayers navigate their financial journeys. TurboTax Live offers sustainable pay, a variety of scheduling options, and the opportunity to work from anywhere in the United States. It's a perfect fit for military spouses just like us. Our bootcamp will take you from ground zero to qualified. Today, we're learning how to earn the Tax Level 1 badge through Intuit Academy with all credentialing costs completely covered by Intuit. Tune in now.
Virtual employment is here to stay. I'm military spouse, VirtForce founder, and your remote work expert, Kimber Hill. Subscribe now to learn how you too can thrive in the virtual workforce.
Here comes the huge news. You thought 1,000 new positions was big. They have now released a program that's going to waive the 1 year of required experience for the TurboTax specialist role, which is the entry-level role. If you remember, and you've been a part of our Intuit community in the past, then you know that previously there was really no way around that work experience. But now it's here, it's really huge, and I'm excited to talk with you about it today. So tell us how Intuit has completely bridged the gap and created a pathway for those with zero experience to enter into a remote career in tax.
Yes, I can tell you all of the team that's on this call today from the Intuit side are very excited about this new program. So we have launched something called the Tax Preparation Program. So once you earn your Tax 1 badge, you can then enroll in this program. And it actually gives you the opportunity to practice doing real, well, not real, but simulated tax returns, but in the actual form. Which is a little bit harder than using TurboTax or any other software. But what the goal is here is that we want folks that have little to zero experience to give them the opportunity to practice and really learn the foundational skills to do basic tax returns. That way they're not necessarily depending on the software, which they would be able to use in their role, but they fully understand and can answer questions to folks as well. And the program itself is probably about 30 hours, give or take, depending on, how a learner learns and what they've got going on. But they can finish it pretty quickly, which is really exciting. And it is virtual, online, and 100% free. And then super stoked about what you all are doing here with VirtForce in terms of the boot camp and the connecting with recruiters and all of that. So you all are in really, really good hands with VirtForce behind you.
Thank you, because it's fantastic. The point is, you're not having to go back to college. You're not having to pay for an online course. The training is being provided to you by the company who wants to hire you. It's free right here, right now. So you get to go from I need a remote career to I work for TurboTax Live. And I want to very clearly delineate here. There is a path to apply right away if you are already qualified to work at TurboTax. You do not have to go through the boot camp if you already qualify. But there is another path to qualify yourself if you have zero experience. So to give everybody the full picture, I would love for my team to screen share a landing page that we built for you. This is something that we built to help you understand the different roles and to understand if you qualify or if you need to go through the qualification process. After you complete the Tax Level 1 badge through Intuit Academy, how is that going to help you stand out as qualified for a remote role with TurboTax Live?
So the first step in the process is to earn the Tax 1 badge. So if you are someone that already meets qualifications, and you are able to connect with the recruiter right then and there, that will actually kind of shoot you up in the recruitment funnel to notify a recruiter that, hey, this person has earned this badge, they're qualified, with a spotlight on them, which is really exciting. The other piece of it is if you are not someone who already has the 2 years paid experience and 30 plus returns that you've been paid to complete, Then that tax level 1 badge is the first piece that you need. And then from there, once you earn that badge, then you'll actually see an opportunity to enroll in the next step, which is the tax prep program. So within our program, depending on where you are and what level of experience you have, our program will guide you to the appropriate next steps. So don't worry about that. But then on top of that, you guys have VirtForce Bootcamp that's also going to help you. So that's really exciting. But either way, once you complete badges with Intuit Academy and you've now met the prerequisite requirements, and with those badges, it will help you stand out to recruiters. So recruiters are actively prioritizing Intuit Academy badge holders and graduates above traditional candidates. So huge win. And just throwing it out there too, if you're qualified, you do not need to do that. But if you feel like you want to just take a badge exam and see, you're also welcome to do that. So you can 100% do that and still stand out to a recruiter if you're already qualified.
It's such a comprehensive program that they're offering, and it's going to open doors for a lot of you who are interested in getting into tax. So let's go over the 3 positions that are available. The tax associate and the tax expert are the positions that are available to you that are qualified. And the tax specialist is the position that's available to you if you are going through the boot camp to get qualified. And again, if you get confused at any point, please visit the landing page that we created to review the process. So I've got a question for Mira now. Hi, Mira. What improvements have been made to Intuit Academy and the Tax Level 1 course this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have updated the Tax Level 1 program to better align with the badge exam and its learning objectives. So a practice exam is now available, and you have up to 5 attempts to pass it. If you began the content last year but did not complete it, just be aware that your progress will be reset. However, note that this content is optional and you can take the exam at any time. So if you already have some experience, my recommendation is to start with a practice exam. Based on your performance, you can always go back to the content and review specific sections, or you can take the entire content fully before taking the final exam. And as mentioned before, just remember that Intuit Academy content is free and available on demand. So good luck with your journey.
Thank you so much, Mira. You're so well spoken. I'd really like to bring on Andy now. Andy is a CPA and Intuit subject matter expert who will share how to prepare and ace the Tax Level 1 exam. He has some incredible tips.
I've been doing this 30 plus years, even though I look really young in taxes. One thing is taxes definitely always change. And unfortunately, we have to pay them every year. So I think taxes really are a part of all of our lives. And it is something to really have a great understanding of how it works. And with Intuit, you could help taxpayers solve not only their tax questions, but also their returns for the year. Some are complicated, some are easy, but we also try to minimize the taxes and maximize the refunds with all the tax code that's out there. So after you go through the course, there are practice exams, which will really test your knowledge of federal income taxes. Now, the one thing is I would recommend you go through the practice exams, because our Tax Level 1 exam is a discrete option multiple choice exam. So it is a little bit different than what any of us have been through. You know, in high school, college, you have the multiple choice or SATs. This is actually, the discrete option multiple choice is a fact pattern that you're provided with a lot of information in there. And then it'll ask you between 1 and 4 questions to see if the statement is correct. So, I didn't go through the practice exams initially. And really just taking that discrete option multiple choice, it kind of blew me away, because it is just a different feel. So I would say do the practice exams. It is an open book exam. So when you're doing the practice exams, you could definitely go through and utilize, your phone or your notes or a tax guide or another laptop to really answer some of these questions. But I do think some of them are pretty easy. I do think some of them are pretty difficult. You have to think about them. It is 50 fact patterns with between 1 and 4 questions in there. You have 2 hours to do it. It definitely is something you need to kind of hone into. But it is passable. A lot of our folks are passing it. There's also, if you need help with it, we're definitely here to help, which is pretty exciting.
How many hours do you think a student should be taking to study for the exam?
I think you take the Tax Level 1 courses between 20 and 30 hours. And I think you take a couple of the practice exams. pass that exam. And then I will give you a hint, like Artie said, with the tax prep courses, there are 13 tax returns you have to prepare. It is totally barbaric. We don't use that. I have never done it myself with a pen and pencil and paper. However, the tax prep program, if you really allows you to understand the flow of the tax return, and I think that's really the great thing, because when we are on the phones with clients, when we're preparing returns, you have to do this stuff relatively quickly and understand what you're doing. And this really does prepare you for that.
Okay. And you mentioned the practice tests and how valuable they are. Definitely take them. Utilize these resources. Again, if you have any questions, we are here to help. We want you to be a part of the team. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. You're so encouraging to the students. We appreciate that. And it's reassuring to know that we have you as an expert and the whole Intuit Academy team as an expert. The guidance is reassuring for everyone here who's preparing to go through the program. James, hello. He is a former Army officer, and now he is the TurboTax Live lead recruiter, really holding down a strong position of leadership at the TurboTax team. And he understands your journey because he is prior military and knows exactly what it takes to get hired. Welcome, James.
Yeah, thank you, Kimber. And hello, everyone. My name is James 𝗟𝗶𝘀𝗄𝗿. As Kimber mentioned, I am a former Army officer, field artillery, with approximately 10 years of experience, both active duty and reserve. This is my 4th year as a recruiter with TurboTax Live, and it's also my 4th year supporting VirtForce. So I started the very first year I joined TurboTax Live working with VirtForce. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this year is the most exciting year that I see that will happen with VirtForce, because I have seen a progression of the things that we've done in the past. And this is the first year that I see the access for all of you all. It's greater this year than it may have been in the past. So I'm excited to be here. My job and all recruiters' jobs are to advocate for you. So if we speak with you, my job is to work with you to get your best foot forward.
Can you talk to our attendees today about the 3 positions that you fill and how the candidates should be applying once they meet the job requirement?
Okay, as Kimber mentioned to you earlier, you have to identify which type of candidate you are. Are you a boot camp candidate, or are you already qualified? 2 different ways that you're going to come through the system. We are recruiting for 3 different positions now. The tax specialist role, which you don't have to have any experience for that one, but you do have to pass the Intuit Academy Tax Level 1 course and the tax prep course. And then once you do that, a lead form will come up asking, do you want to be considered for position? The other positions are, if you're already qualified, then you go through our normal process of applying, and then you will be assigned to a recruiter and be placed on a rec to go through the next step in the process. But the other 2 positions, the tax associate, and you have to have 2 years of experience preparing at least 30 returns per season, being paid to prepare 30 returns per season. And the other is tax expert, same thing, 2 years, 30 returns, but you also must be credentialed, have an EA, CPA, or an active law degree. And when we say recent experience, we're looking for I look for 5 years or less. For tax specialists, you don't have to have any experience, but if you put a resume together, I want to know all of your experience, whether it's volunteer or actual, family and friends, because that'll help me advocate for you when I'm trying to get you through the system.
Thank you so much, James, for covering the tax expert, the tax associate, and the tax specialist. So our tax experts, those are of you who have the CPA, the enrolled agent license, or you are a licensed attorney. Our tax associate, James, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got 2 years of work experience plus 30 paid tax returns completed. And our tax specialist, that is our boot camp cohort that we are working with.
Hi, I'm Vanna. I'm tuning in from Louisiana, and we are getting ready to PCS to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I am interested in this because I've always done my own taxes and helped others do their taxes as well. And I'm currently in school for business with an emphasis on accounting. So this just seems like it could be a really great opportunity to be able to be at home and be available to my family while also pursuing a career and helping others navigate their taxes. So
I love the real world experience, and you allowed that to help point you in this direction. So that's super cool, Vanna. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm currently in North Carolina from Colorado, and I am an accounting professional right now, but I want to make myself a little bit more marketable and, just something that will travel a little bit better with the lifestyle, So I'm excited.
So ultimately, if we were to get hired and brought on with Intuit, so like my goal is I would really like to become an EA. What would that look like? Do I need to work for so long, or is there kind of a channel that I could follow to make that goal a reality?
Do you have any experience right now?
So at this point, it's purely just volunteer, like with my friends and family. Obviously, I do our own taxes, and then just the educational stuff. So not actually being paid or anything like that.
Okay, so in that case, you come on as a tax specialist.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The idea with the tax specialist is for you to get a couple years under your belt with someone watching over your shoulder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Within that time frame, you should receive an invitation to participate in the Intuit Enrolled Agent Assistance Program.
Okay.
All right. That program is where Intuit will pay for your online class, pay for your training material, provide you access to a mentor. Then when you're ready to take the EA exam, and I believe there's 3 of them, you pay for the exams up front, but once you pass it and have your credential in hand, then you can be considered and moved into a tax expert role. So that would be ideally the steps that you would have to go through if you come in as a tax specialist. Same thing if you're a tax associate, but you already have experience.
Right. Okay.
So,
thank you.
You're welcome. Once you get your EA, then you can be considered for the tax expert role, which means more money and a higher bonus opportunity.
We have a couple questions coming through the chat about hours. Are they part-time or full-time positions for the tax roles, all year round, seasonal? James, can you tackle a few of those?
Yes, primarily the positions are seasonal, even though we do have some year-round roles, which we call select time. But normally, during the tax season, the hours are from 8 a.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And during that time frame, you must commit to schedule a minimum of 20 hours or more per week during a 7-day period. And when you schedule a shift, it has to be at least a 4-hour block of time or more.
Christy asks, do you get to choose your 4-hour block of time? And can it vary from week to week, or will it have to be the same blocks of time every day, week from week?
It's on a first come, first served basis. All right. Once you get in and you get all your onboarding activity completed, then you go in and you can set your schedule. And I tell people this all the time. Normally, once you set it, that's usually what you want to keep. But hey, life catches up with you, and sometimes you may need to make a change. You'll have to talk to whoever your seasonal manager is, and it depends on what hours are available. But I'm going to turn this over to Andy. Andy, have you had any experience with this in your teams?
I think I've heard about some of this. I think it is pretty flexible. I could also say you work on a team with a team of folks. So if you do have a challenging question, there is somebody that can certainly help you out. You're not kind of on an island by yourself. And the team really does help you out. So it is pretty flexible though, from what I hear.
Is there a starting wage or base wage? We know that your wages for each role, they are very competitive based on the market each candidate lives in. So that would be the state and the area local to them. But is there a base for tax specialist versus expert versus associate?
There is a base wage scale based off the region or state that you live in for each position. Whenever we hire someone, we initially talk to them, and when we interview them, we present what the entry level is. So if you come to us with experience, that's something if we get to that stage, that's where it can be discussed with the business unit. And of course, they have the final say on what's on there, because we have some people who have a lot of experience, and they have a number that they're looking for. But those are, we discuss the entry-level wages whenever we talk to people initially. So everyone needs to understand that even though you pass the Intuit Academy courses and you go through the process, there are 6 states that have special requirements that you must meet. One of them being California, There's New York, Maryland, California, Nevada, Oregon or Washington is one of them, and there's one other. There's 6 states. We have that list, but you need to just Google requirements to be a tax preparer in your state. And there's some states that don't have any. So you need to make sure you're aware of those, because you need to meet those requirements before you, as well as meet our requirements before you can start with us.
What equipment would everybody need going into this role if they were hired, or is all of that provided by Intuit?
We provide all the equipment that you need. Each year you'll get a set, you'll get an Intuit laptop, a headset, a hub, a camera that comes with your laptop, and a 20-foot Ethernet cable. In addition, we provide to you an app to put on your mobile device or smartphone that will give you multi-factor authentication capability. So you have that, it's everything that you need. And then once the season is over with, you return it. And if you come back next year, you'll get a new set. What we recommend is you must have a place that you can interact with customers on video without interruption. You'll also want to make sure that you have high-speed internet that meets the minimum speed standards for our technology. So as of right now, you can't use satellite internet, Wi-Fi internet, cellular internet. It has to be hardwired. And that's one reason why we provide you a 20-foot Ethernet cable. So you can plug into the back of your modem and into the laptop that we provide to you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. I think this is really great that you're doing this for us spouses, because sometimes it's a little difficult getting yourself out there.